It's no doubt that the Xbox 360 had a fantastic lineup of racing games released throughout its lifespan. From realistic simulations such as Forza Motorsport to crazy over-the-top action racing such as Split Second, the 360 had it all. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my top 5 favourite Xbox 360 racing games in no particular order. Please bear in mind that this is my favourite racing games and I prefer an arcade racer to a simulator. Anyway, let's get on with it. Poject Gotham Racing 3 was a launch title for the 360. It was actually the first game I played when I first bought the console. And what a game to start with, as this title is hugely fun to play and my first glimpse of HD gaming graphics blew me away. Driving games are well known to push the limits of consoles in the graphical department, and PGR3 didn't disappoint at the time. There's 80 licensed vehicles to race, and you have 4 cities to race through, which are London, New York, Las Vegas and Tokyo. You can also race around the Nürburgring as well. Also, you can create your own tracks using the course editor. Not only do you have to worry about winning your races, an important aspect of the game is earning kudos points as well. These points are rewarded for stylish driving such as drifting and drafting. Earning kudos earns you higher rankings and access to better vehicles. Earn credits by winning races which you can use to buy new cars. You can also walk around your garage to get a better view of your shiny supercars, explore a bit further and you'll find an arcade machine. Walk up to it and now you can play Geometry Wars. You can also do this in PGR 2 and 4. Did you know that Bizarre Creations created Geometry Wars to test the Xbox controller while making PGR 2? Anyway, I'm getting off track here. PGR 3 still looks fantastic and is a joy to play. You have several different game modes available, such as normal street races, eliminator, team races, capture the track, and cone capture. There's a brilliant multiplayer mode I used to play called Cat and Mouse, where 2 teams have one player as a mouse, which will be one of the slowest cars in the game, and the rest of the players are cats in fast cars. First mouse over the finish line wins the game for their team, and the cats have to defend their own mouse while also attacking the other team's mouse. So much fun was had playing that. Anyway, you can pick up PGR 3 or 4 really cheap on the 360, so if you haven't played them, give them a go. Race Driver Grid is the 7th game in the Codemasters Toka series. The game has a fairly standard single player mode where you progress through races earning money, but has a few features that make it very interesting. Firstly, you can create your own racing team. At the start of the game, you'll be racing other teams, but as you earn more money, you can create your own team and select a teammate to drive with you. You can also select sponsorship deals to earn you extra money depending on what the sponsor wants from you. The game also features something called Flashback, where if you mess up a corner and crash, you can rewind up to 10 seconds and commence from there. Now, this wasn't the first racing game to feature something like this, as Full Auto had a similar feature, but it did popularise it for future games such as Forza Motorsport. Another feature I love is when you input your name into the game, it actually uses your name in the audio dialogue in races and the menus. Obviously this only works with a certain amount of names, but mine is on there, and mine isn't that common, and it's spelt correctly. I love you, Race Driver Grid. Anyway, all of that wouldn't matter if the game wasn't fun to play, but of course it is. The cars feel so satisfying to drive, and when you get in the cockpit view you really get a sense of speed. There's a great selection of different racing competitions. There's GT championships, open wheel racing, drifting events, demolition derbies and many others. While the first Dirt game was a decent racer, Dirt 2 ramps up everything from gameplay to aesthetics. While you don't have a massive selection of cars, there's plenty of different events to choose from, such as Rally, Rallycross, Trailblazer, Raid and Land Rush. There are also some special events such as Gatecrasher and Domination, and special races such as the X Games. The rally cars and trucks feel great to drive as they have a good sense of weight to them. The rewind feature from Grid makes a return here, which some racing fans hate. Fortunately for them, you don't have to use it. Selecting the hardest difficulty gives you no flashbacks to use. Something I really love with Dirt 2 is the presentation. The menus look vibrant and exciting, and this is one of the very few games I love using the cockpit view in while driving. There's even options to customise your in-car ornaments. The main menus are presented in this first-person aspect as you walk in and out of your trailer. Your surroundings change depending on which country you're racing in, but this guy always seems to follow you about.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Also, I have to give a shout out to the fantastic soundtrack. I have very fond memories of Dirt 2, and it was a joy to revisit this game for this video. Unfortunately, I wasn't that much of a fan of Dirt 3, and I didn't check out Dirt Rally, but maybe I'll give Dirt 4 a chance when it's released in a couple months' time. Released in 2010, Hot Pursuit is the 16th title in the Need for Speed series. The game goes back to the gameplay styles of previous titles under the Hot Pursuit name. Hot Pursuit is all about police chasing down exotic sports cars performing illegal street races. The game takes place in a fictional county in California, and the races are made up of variations of roads on this map. You can free ride around the whole map if you wanted to, much like Burnout Paradise, except this map is 4 times bigger, but Paradise's map is much more denser. The game feels a lot like Burnout, with the takedowns you perform, and this is no coincidence as the game was made by Criterion Games. You have the option of playing as a racer, getting first place while avoiding the police, or playing as the police, taking down all the racers. Playing as the police, you have various gadgets you can use such as spike strips, roadblocks, EMP grenades and deployable helicopters. But later in the game you'll find that racers have their own gadgets too, with turbo boosts and signal jammers. There's a great selection of licensed cars, and the car damage looks fantastic. There's lots of detail in the environments, and the cars sound amazing. The game modes work even better online as well, but sadly you'll struggle to find games. Finally, we have Burnout Paradise, the 5th title in the series, and the 2nd to be released on 360. The game is a lot different to previous Burnout games. Set in the fictional Paradise City, you drive around the open world and select events by pulling up to intersections and performing a burnout. Races consists of getting from point A to B first, meaning there's no determined route. This gives the player more freedom, but you can get lost frequently if you don't know the map very well. Ultimately, if you give the game more time, you'll get more out of it, except you will get sick of that Guns N' Roses Paradise City intro. Gone is the structured crash mode from previous titles. Instead, you can initiate showtime at any time, which involves you bouncing your car about to cause as much damage as you can. The real star of the show though is the damage physics. Your car will crumple into a mangled mess when going at high speed into an immovable object, and it's oh so beautiful to watch in slow motion. There's some great multiplayer options to choose from, where you can go around Paradise City as a team and take on challenges. Burnout Paradise lacks the structure of previous Burnout games, but if you give the time to learn the map, you'll have loads of fun with it. That was 5 of my favourite racing games for the 360. Please let me know in the comments which games are your favourites, I would love to know. Feel free to subscribe to the channel and check out my other top 5 videos. Thank you for watching.